Down on the mat, we're going to start with our pelvic tilts. So coming onto your back, you can have a towel under the base of your skull. Make sure there's nothing constricting the back of your neck if it's more comfortable for you. Bring your shoulders back and down away from your ears, hands on the floor. Let's find that neutral position by doing some pelvic tilts, feet flat on the floor, in line with your knees and your hips. Okay, you can take a breath in to prepare. As you do, you're going to pull the belly button in towards the spine, tilting the pelvis towards you, flattening out your lower back, and exhale, send the tailbone opposite direction, creating that big curve. Good, you can do that a few times. We're not leaving the mat, we're just tilting the pelvis towards us and away from us, and that helps us to find that neutral position and gets our lower back warm and the abdominals warmed up, ready for our practice today. Remember, every day is going to be different. Your body is going to feel different on different days. Don't over push yourself, just do what your body wants to do on that day. Okay? Good, you're going to find your neutral position halfway between those two extremes. Remember that little ripe grape in your lower back, between your back and the mat. You're not going to crush the grape. You're going to bring the awareness to your breath. Start breathing in and out of the rib cage. In through the nose, out through the lips like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Good, making sure the pelvis is nice and even on the mat on both sides. Good, we can just concentrate on your breathing just for a couple more breaths. Good, relax any tension that might have built up in the face, in the neck, in the shoulders. I don't want any tension before we start. Good, let's start with taking the arms up overhead. Nice strong arms, palms facing each other, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to start with inhaling and reaching towards the ceiling. Exhaling and letting the shoulders come back down towards the mat. Good, activating those shoulders, reaching towards the ceiling, fingertips towards the ceiling, and then letting the shoulders come back down to that mat. Good, just one more time. Good, from here you can start to take the left arm over towards the right. You're going to feel that space between the shoulder blades open up, keeping your neutral position. You're not leaving the mat. And then bring that arm back to center. I'm going to take the right arm over towards the left. Feel that space between the shoulder blades open up and back. So we're working on shoulder mobility here. Working those postural muscles that help us to stand up. Good, maintaining that neutral position in the pelvis. Good, one more. Excellent, taking the arms back down by your sides, you're going to come into your 100. So either keeping your feet on the floor, or you can take your legs up to tabletop. I'm going to keep my feet on the floor today. So we're going to take a breath in to prepare. And as we exhale, we're going to lift the head and the shoulders off, hovering the hands off the floor. Keeping that neutral position in the pelvis. You're going to breathe in for 5, out for 5. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 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 5. One more. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the head back down, arms back down to the mat. And take the head from side to side. Release any tension. Good. Okay, you're going to come up to a sitting position. So either come onto your side and come up, or hook your hands under your knees and use your momentum to sit up. We're going to come into your roll backs. So we're going to come all the way down to the mat. If that's not for you today, you just stick with the halfway roll back. So you can hold on to behind your knees. Take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, chin comes towards the chest into your roll back. And you curl all the way back up and sit up nice and tall at the end. Okay, you're going to stick with those. If you're going to come into the full roll back, you come with me. I'm going to release the hands, take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, chin comes towards the chest, you come all the way back down to the floor, one vertebra at a time, head comes last, arms come overhead. Okay, option to stretch the legs out at this stage, or you can do it with bent knee, but just remember that neutral position. Remember that little grape. We're not going to crush the grape. Okay, we're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as we exhale, the arms come overhead. As they do, we lift the head and the shoulders off the floor, and we lift all the way up, and you're going to come into your forward fold, folding towards the legs, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. Taking a breath in. Take the arms up overhead. As we do, we're going to roll back one vertebra at a time. Head and shoulders, taking the arms overhead, keeping that neutral position. Take a breath in. Exhale, our arms come over. We lift up. Forward fold. Good. Taking it back up. Start to roll back. Excellent. Last one. And forward fold. Good. This time you're going to roll back to the mat and you're going to stay there. Good. Bringing the arms back down by your side, bringing the feet back towards the mat. Readjust yourself, make sure those shoulders are back and down away from the ears. Okay, shoulder blades are even on the mat. You're going to find your neutral position. Okay, we're going to come into your toe taps. So we're going to hover the knees up into tabletop position. So take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, hover one leg into tabletop. No movement in the pelvis. Take the other leg up to tabletop. Good. Hold that position. Option to take the head and the shoulders off the mat if you want to. If that's not for you today, you keep your head on the mat. We're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to lower one toe towards the mat and lift. Good. Opposite side. Excellent. No expectation of touching the mat. If that's not for you, you go halfway, but just try to maintain that position. Okay, so the lower back is not arching. We've got that grape, we're holding that grape in place, but we're not squishing it. Good. Breathing. Good. Coming into our strength work now. You've got one more each side. Excellent. Take the head back down to the mat. Lower both legs down. And hug your knees in towards your chest and have a little rock from side to side if you need to. Release any tension. Good. We're going to come up to a sitting position again. So pull yourself up. And you're going to take the legs long in front of you. We're going to come into your spine stretch. So sitting up nice and tall, nice and even on those sit bones. You can take the arms in front of you. You're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to reach forward with the arms and nod the head. And we curl through the spine, not letting the shoulders come up behind the ear, between the ears, and we're going to stack the spine back up. Standing up nice, sitting up nice and tall. Good, let's try it again. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, let the arms come forward, head nods. Curl through the back. And inhale, come back up. Let's do one more. Excellent, good. Arms down for a second. We're going to take a bit of a wider stance with the legs. Take the legs either side of the mat. Sitting up nice and tall, you're going to come into your saw. So we take the arms out to the side. The sit bones don't leave the mat. We rotate round to the side. We let the arm come down towards the leg. The other arm goes backwards. So we're lengthening through that arm, not letting the shoulder come up between the ears. Just lengthening through. No expectation of touching my foot. You let the arm come where it wants to go. We come up. You're going to open the arms again, rotate to the other side, rotate through the waist. So my hip and my pelvis stays nice and neutral in the center. Let that arm come down towards the leg, let the other arm lengthen backwards. Good, we're going to come up. I'm going to do one more each side. So we rotate round and up. Good. So my legs don't move and my pelvis doesn't move. And rotating through the waist and back to center. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come into your roll like a ball. So position yourself on the mat so you've got room to come backwards. Rolling like a ball, we hook our hands underneath our knees. Okay, we're going to use our arms and our body as momentum. You're going to tuck your chin towards your chest to protect your neck. Curling through the spine, you're going to use your momentum to come backwards and back up, feet back on the floor. All right, take a breath in to prepare. Exhale. Keep that chin tucked. We don't come back onto the neck. We're rolling through the spine. Good, let's do two more. Okay, should feel a nice sensation through the back and rest. Good. Doesn't matter if you're rocking and rolling around on the mat. Should feel a nice sensation in the back. There shouldn't be any pain, no pain in the neck. Good. From here, we're going to come back down to the mat. So you're going to roll down all the way back down. So take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Roll all the way back down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Head comes last. Good. You're going to position yourself back where you were. Okay, shoulders down away from the ears. Find that neutral position. You're going to come into your shoulder bridge. So we're going to bring the feet towards the bum. Toes, knees, hips, all in a straight line. Okay, you're going to keep the hands down on the floor. You're going to push through your arms for this one. So make sure those shoulders are back and down. Head's going to stay on the mat. You're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to push through your heels, lifting the hips off the floor, scooping up into your bridge, using your arms. You're going to take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, you're going to roll down one vertebra at a time. Tailbone comes last. So make sure your knees don't flare out. They stay in line with your hips. You're using the pressure through the back of the heels and using your glutes to lift your tailbone off the floor. Okay, let's try it again. Breathing in to prepare. As you exhale, scoop up, lifting up into your bridge. So you're lifting up onto the shoulder blades, but don't let the weight come backwards. Okay, keep the weight in your heels, using your glute muscles and your core muscles to stabilize you. You want this nice flat front. You don't want to be overextending through the chest. Okay, so tuck your tailbone in, give me that nice flat belly. If your quad muscles are tight and your hip flexors are tight, you're going to feel the pull through the front of the thigh. That's completely normal. Okay, as they get looser, it will get easier. So we're going to roll back down through the spine. Good. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop up, lifting up into your bridge. And exhaling back down. Good. On the next one, you're going to come up and you're going to stay up. So we're going to lift up into your bridge. Good, no tension in the neck. You're going to start to lift one heel off the floor, alternate sides. Good. Keeping that pelvis nice and stable. Good, breathing. Good, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly rolling everything back down to the mat. You can hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little rock. Good. Reposition yourself. Make sure everything is in alignment. Okay, we're going to come into your dead bug. So we're going to take the knees back up to tabletop again. So take a breath in to prepare. Start to float the knees up into your tabletop position. Remember that little ripe grape in your lower back. We're going to take the arms overhead towards the ceiling, palms facing each other, nice strong arms. No tension in the neck. We're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as we exhale, we're going to try and lower opposite arm, opposite leg towards the floor. Okay, no expectation of touching the floor. And lift back to center. So we're going to take this one nice and slow. I want you to feel the movement, see how it feels. Because we don't want the ribs to flare. We don't want the lower back to arch. We want to try and keep that neutral position as we move both the arms and the legs together. So a little bit of coordination here. So we're using all the principles of Pilates: concentration, coordination, and flow. Using your breath. Good, making sure those shoulders don't come up around the ears. Keep everything balanced. Good, we can do one more each side. Excellent, hug your knees in towards your chest. Have a little break. Good. All right, we're going to change position. So you're going to come onto your side and come up to sitting, or you're going to use your momentum and pull yourself up. So we're going to come into our side lying position. So when we're side lying, we can use the block or we can use the towel to find our neutral position. So we want to be in the position as if we were standing up. Okay, so think about neck in line with the spine, shoulders stacked on top of each other, hips stacked on top of each other. Okay, so you're going to find that position, bring the awareness to your core. Okay, pull that belly button in toward the spine just slightly. Okay, but we're still keeping that natural lumbar curve in the spine. So imagine as if you were standing up. Okay, no tension in the neck. We're going to try and hover both legs off the floor. So find your balance, fingertips lightly on the mat to support you. In this position, you're going to come into your lying leg lifts. Okay, with the pointed toe, nice and controlled. Good, breathing. Good, try and stay lifted through the ribs just a little bit. Remember that little mouse hole. Good, got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, rest both legs down. Really nice job. Okay, so we're going to bring the top leg in front of you. Okay, if your leg is sinking too far down, your hip is coming too far forward, you can fix that by using a towel or a cushion, or your block. You can use your block as well. Okay, just to prop the knee up a little bit so it's a bit more in line with the hip. Okay, we're going to work this inner thigh on the bottom leg. So find your neutral position. Lifted through the waist, shoulders stacked. You're going to elongate the bottom leg, still on that, laying on that hip. We're going to lift and lower that bottom leg. Okay, so we're going to work the inner thigh. The rest of the body stays completely still. Breathing. Okay, my breathing stays the same, even though my leg is moving faster. So I'm not going to hyperventilate. You breathe normally, but we're double timing the leg. Okay, or you can take the leg slower, however you feel. We're working that inner thigh. Good. 3, 2, 1. The next one, you're going to hold that leg up, and we're going to try and move the leg forwards and backwards. Okay, so it's hovered off the mat. We're moving it forwards and backwards. I'm not going to do too many of these. They're quite difficult. Good. Taking the leg forwards and backwards. Okay, if this front leg is in the way, just move it out of the way. So you get a bit more range. Good. Last one. And back to center. Good. Now we're going to come into your oysters. So you're going to stack both legs on top of each other, knee in line with the hip. Find your neutral position so the pelvis doesn't move. You're going to elevate both feet off the floor and come into your oysters. So staying stacked on the hips. We're not rocking and rolling around. You can use your hand to stabilize you. Good, you can feel the back of the thigh and the glutes start to fire up. Breathing normally here, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest down. Excellent. Come up into a sitting position. Split the knees open, and we're going to come into a little side bend. So reaching up towards the ceiling first, and then over to the side. Good. All right, we're going to come into our side bends. So, or side planks, if you like to call them that. So knees stacked on top of each other, heels in line with your sit bone, elbow underneath the shoulder. You're going to stack the shoulders on top of each other. Lifting up through the ribs, you're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to lift your hips off the floor, keeping that nice alignment, neck in line with the spine. You're going to slowly return back down to the mat. Good. So this shoulder and elbow doesn't move. Okay, so we take it up and down, nice and gentle. You can take the arm up and over. You can take the arm over the ear if it feels good on the shoulder. And back down. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And down. Excellent. Come off this shoulder. Give it a little massage. Make sure it feels okay. All right, so we're going to change over to the other side. Let's take it over. Bring your block or your cushion and your towel. You're going to come down to lying down. Find your neutral position, stacked on top of your hips. Shoulders stacked. We're going to stretch out the legs first of all. Okay, find that neutral position, balance. You can try and lift both legs off the floor. Think about length through those legs, and you're going to lift and lower that top leg. Good. Breathing. Good. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower both legs down. Okay, so we're going to come into your inner thigh work. So you're going to take this top leg up and over, and you're going to prop that knee up if you need to with a towel or a cushion, so it's in line with your hip and it's a bit more comfortable for you. Okay, find your neutral position, neck in line with the spine, fingertips lightly on the mat. You're going to elongate through that bottom leg. We're going to lift and lower with the pointed toe. Remember lifting up through the waist, remember that little mouse hole? So you're keeping that neutral position. The work is coming from the inner thigh. So there's no tension in the upper body at all. Good, we're lifting and lowering in a double time. We're keeping our breath completely normal speed. Good, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time you're going to lift up, you're going to hold it up, and we're going to try and move it forwards and backwards. So to the front of the mat and back. Good. Remember, no rocking and rolling around. Keep that pelvis nice and stable. Only taking the movement as far as your body will allow you to. Good. That inner thigh is working hard. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. And 1. Excellent. Well done. I know that one's difficult. Rest that leg down. Bring both the knees up. Stack the knees together. Okay, knees in line with your hip. You're going to come into your oysters. So find your neutral position. Take a breath in to prepare. Start to lift and lower that leg. If you want to elevate the feet off the floor, you can. Get a bit more range, but just make sure you're not rocking and rolling. If you are, take the feet back down, come back to your beginner's modification. Good, to take it nice and slow. You can start to feel some heat in the back of that thigh. Good, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Rest that leg down. Come up into a sitting position, split the knees, and we're going to take a little side bend here. So taking the arm up and over, reaching up towards the ceiling first, and then over to the side, releasing through that side body. Should feel a nice stretch. Good, taking it up and over. Okay, we're going to come into your side bends on this side. So stack the knees on top of each other, come down onto your elbow, heels in line with your sit bone, elbow in line with your shoulder. You're going to lift up through the ribs. You're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to lift up, stacking the shoulders on top, neck in line with the spine. Slowly come back down to the mat. Okay, readjust yourself if you need to. Take a breath in, exhale, and slowly down to the mat. Lifting up through that waist, using those side oblique muscles, side core muscles to help lift you up. Good. So we're not loading everything into the shoulder. We're shifting some of the weight down into the knee, so we're not overloading the shoulder. Good. Let's take one more. You can lift up, stay up, and take the arms slightly overhead if it feels okay on the shoulder. 3, 2, 1, and bring yourself down. Come off that shoulder, give it a little massage. Really well done, team. We are nearly there. Okay, so we're going to come onto your front, and we're going to come into your swan prep for beginners. And we're going to do some little back leg kicks as well. So join me on the front. You don't need your yoga block or your big towel, but you might want to use the towel just to rest your forehead on if it's more comfortable for you. If you have any back of the neck issues, so come down onto your front. You can take the legs slightly wide so there's a gap between the knees. You're going to take your arms out to the side of the mat, and you're going to rest your head on your towel if you have one. Just your forehead, so your hairline on the towel, okay? So we're keeping the neck and the spine in that neutral position. So from here, we're going to come into your back extension. So you're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you push your pubic bone into the mat, you're going to lift your head and your shoulders off, keeping your forearms on the floor, keeping your legs on the floor. Keep looking down at the mat, and you can slowly return yourself back down. Once your head is down, you then can lift both legs off the floor. Okay, legs come down. Once the legs are down, you can take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to lift off, looking down at the mat. Back down, and we lift both legs off. Good, pressing your pubic bone into the mat. Take a breath in to prepare, exhale, come up. Good. Head comes down. Legs can then come up and hover off the mat. Legs come down. Pushing through the hands and the forearms. There's no tension in the neck. We're just lifting off. You're going to feel the lower back engage. And lift those legs off. Good. We're going to do one more. Head comes back down to the mat. We lift both legs off. Good. Okay. So this time you're going to keep your head on the mat or on your towel. Hands are going to stay where they are. You're going to bring the legs slightly closer together. Still a little gap between. You're going to come into your leg kicks. So again, pressing your pubic bone into the mat. Think about drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Good. So taking a breath in to prepare, we're going to take one leg at a time. Taking one leg up, we kick back and down. Other side, leg up, little kick and down. Kick, kick and down. Kick, kick and down. Good. So there's no tension in the upper body, no tension in the neck. Trying to relax the upper body as much as possible and letting the lower body do the work. So we're working through hamstrings, the glutes, and those lower back muscles, those postural muscles. But if the front of your legs, in your front of your thighs are tight, you might feel the pull in the front of the legs, and that's okay, that's normal. Good. Breathing. Good. Let's do one more. Excellent. And take a rest. Let's you do a little quad stretch here to stretch out the front of the legs. So stabilizing yourself in the upper body, just using your forearm. You're going to take your arm back towards your foot if you can, keeping your leg straight down, okay? Keeping your knee in line with the hip. You're going to try and push your foot into your hand, okay? You're going to feel the back, feel your thighs stretch. Good. Try and keep your pelvis on the mat though, don't let yourself rotate around too much. So keep it nice and stable on the mat. You're going to release, you're going to come to the other side, taking your foot in your hand, keeping your pelvis nice and stable on the mat. Then you're going to try and push your foot into your hand, and you're going to feel the stretch through the thigh. So don't overstretch, just take it a little bit at a time. Good, you're going to release. All right, let's push yourself up into your child's pose rest position. Split the knees open, sit back on the heels, let the head and the arms come back down to the mat. You can take a breath here, you can rock from side to side if it feels good. Wake up the pelvis and the lower back. Take a little rest for a second. Okay, so last exercise, we're going to come into your push-ups. So push-ups, you can take them on the knees to begin with. And to begin with, we're going to take the hands either side of the mat. Okay, taking the knees back. You're going to lean forward so that your wrists, elbows and shoulders are all in alignment. You're going to take a breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower yourself down halfway and up. Good. So your elbows are coming backwards. Take a breath in, keeping that core alignment, line with the spine. and up. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Sit back on your heels. Well done. Take a little well-earned stretch. All right, from here you're going to come into your kneeling position. Wrists, elbows, shoulders all in a line, knees and hips in a line, little gap between the knees. You're going to come into your cat-cow stretch. So you're going to take a breath in. As you do, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, chin comes towards the chest, arching through the spine. Then as you exhale, you're going to send the tailbone in the opposite direction, extend through the chest and lift the head. So we're just getting some movement through the spine. And exhale, send the tailbone away. Good. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to come back to your neutral position in the center, looking between your hands. You can tuck your toes under and come up into your downward facing dog. So you're pressing through the hands and the feet. See if you can get those heels back down towards the floor. You're looking between your feet, breathing. You're going to start to pedal the feet up and down. And you feel that stretch through the back of the legs and the calves. So equal weight between the hands and the feet. Good, you've got 3, 2, 1. You're going to come back down towards the mat, dropping the knees down. Come back and sit down. We're going to take a little side bend here. So staying in this kneeling position, you're going to have one hand placed on the floor. You're going to take one arm up and over, reach towards the ceiling, then come over to the side. You can dip the elbow just to increase that stretch through the side body. And take it up and over, placing that hand down on the floor, taking the other arm up, breathing in. And as you exhale, you can dip the elbow on the other side. Just feel a nice stretch through the side body. You're going to come back up to center. Give yourself a well-earned shoulder roll. Make sure the wrists and the fingers feel okay after those push-ups. But really well done today. I hope that you enjoyed this workout, this mat Pilates session, doing some of the classic Pilates moves. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a look at my other videos. Take care.